Hello, beautiful Lyran Starseeds. This is Lyran Star Goddess Oracle and Tarot, and we're connecting with the energies of light from the Lyran Light Field and the Lion Light Council, receiving messages and information about what kinds of soul lessons and energies we're moving through at this time. And we are in eclipse energy today, new moon eclipse in Leo. So whenever you find this reading, that's when you are meant to find it. It is really powerful energy right now, and we have some interesting cards. So connect in with me and connect in with the Lyran light field. I'm in agreement with source and only source. I'm in alignment with light and only light. So starting from the roots of our tree here, we have the strength card reversed, and this is a Leo card reversed. And what that is telling me is that there's a lot of internal stuff going on. We're coming from a place of what is going on internally. So it's not necessarily being extroverted, it's not being expressed outwardly. And we move into the heart of the situation, and the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords talk about what is being thought about, what is being processed internally in the mind. There's something that there's something, there are some things that want to be cut off, like cord cutting type things. And I'm going to come back to this, but we have Apocalypse over here, and we also have the Sith. These are both very much harvesting cards. Apocalypse is it, and the Death is right next to it. I didn't even see that earlier. So there's definitely this huge cycle that is coming to a close. It's coming full circle. And the Six of Swords is about really letting that go, letting that be in the past, and moving forward and moving on into a, a clarity, a relief, and more peace. This is also at the end of the high priestess, and in this case, it's keeping all of this to yourself. Interestingly, in our astro dice, we've got Mercury, third house Aquarius, and this is really speaking your truth and it affecting the collective, affecting the people around you, affecting your crew, your your soul pod. So this Ace of Swords is is the Excalibur. It is a symbol of truth and victory and honor and loyalty. And there's something in order to be true to self that must be cut off and left in the past in order to go forward into the future. Even higher self, let's look over here at the Lyran Light Council of guides, higher self, angels and guides of the highest vibrations, future self. So the high priestess is higher self reversed, the hanged man reversed. This is about no longer needing to sacrifice. So, whatever has been internalized, ready to be harvested, I've internalized, I have processed within myself, I have all the information that I need. This also reminds me of those habitual processing of situations that we're trying to make sense of that simply are irrational. There's no sense making of them, but that's what we try to do. We try to make sense of them. And there's been so much processing. There's no processing left to do. You can roll it around, you can ruminate, but ultimately you're not going to get any more information because there's no information. There's no more really to get. You've gotten all of it. You've gotten everything that you have needed from this processing. And this hangman reversed, high self is saying, you no longer need to sacrifice. You no longer need to roll this around. Take a pause, look at all of the other perspectives and situations. You've done it. You've done the work. Angels and guides are talking about the Knight of Cups, going forward into the future, going forward with an open, expanded heart. And future self, there are a couple things going on here. We have the Devil card. Future self is talking about Capricorn, talking about work related projects, talking about climbing up the mountain to the higher self and being in the process of that, finding the higher self through the heart expansion. And the future self is also talking about any untoward dynamics that you are leaving in the past here. This is a moment at this eclipse. This is a point where you recognize what those dynamics are. You're not going to get yourself entangled in these dynamics again. They they were for a time. They were for a time so that you would recognize them, time of recognition. But there's no longer a need to become again entangled in any kind of false beliefs or entanglements that were just dysfunctional. And so future self is talking about being able to recognize those, recognize the red flags so you don't fully participate, disengagement of that. There's a huge ending of this cycle. And I want to say there's a huge ending of not speaking your truth. And speaking your truth sometimes means speaking your truth to yourself. Sometimes it means being out with it and speaking it out into the collective. But when you're speaking your truth, that can include your actions. Your actions are speaking your truth for you. And those actions, whether spoken out loud or just acted upon, speak to the collective. So it's not about being some kind of talking head or standing at a podium. Could be, but it doesn't have to be. This can all happen internally and quietly and still speak loudly to the collective, to your environment, to the universe. Advice is talking about the Hierophant. This is about taking on spiritual authority, aligning with your personal spiritual authority. And the soul lesson is the Ace of Pentacles. This is about taking an opportunity to ground and in that grounding, becoming prosperous, becoming connected to the resources that are available. And this resource is divine, I want to say divine enlightenment. It's about having information and knowingness, trusting self. This is about connecting with that divine authority, spiritual authority. And happening now into the near future, here's the Two of Cups reversed. Two of Cups reversed, it can be a severing of a partnership. In this case, I feel like it has a lot to do with the severing of an idea of what a partnership was. And the big picture is very much focusing on one opportunity. It is also about really releasing something. I feel like there is a disappointment in this, but there might even be, you might be over it at this point. It feels like there's a lot of grieving that has happened through that ruminating, through that internal processing, trying to figure things out. And there's a letting go of something that you thought was a certain way. This is even like this, you know, it can be a situation, it can be a romantic relationship, but it can be anything. It can be any kind of situation, depending on what is resonating with you, what is going on in your life. This definitely could be romantic, but it also could be, I'm hearing spiritual, again, spiritual authority, how you thought your spiritual authority was at one time and how it is actually now. This can be work related. This can be a relationship with a partner, work wise, all of these things. But acquisition and justice, whatever this was, it was like you thought you had it. You thought it was in the bag. You thought this was it. You thought this was the thing. We've got it. We're done. And then there was a realization that this wasn't the perfect thing. Something has shifted or evolved. And I really feel like it has a lot to do with having to internalize things, not being able to speak your truth. It's almost like signing a contract to um, not speak your truth. You can have all of this if you stay quiet. That's what it feels like. But if you speak up, you lose it all. And it just feels like it's like it's a moment of, do I sell my soul? And then the whole conversation about what your soul is. Part of that soul expression is through the transpersonal senses, through the voice, how you speak your truth, how you're able to speak it to the collective. And if this isn't happening, or if you're having to sign that away, there's something about that kind of drains life from the energy. And this is a full circle. Like, that's the end of that. That's not happening anymore, or it's not starting for some people. But for others, this has been going on and it's like, no more. And overlying the situation, what the higher self is talking about, Five of Swords and Six of Wands reversed. It's this betrayal of not being on the pedestal. How funny is that? It's the betrayal of not being able to do what it is that you want to do. This is also like a, I want to say an entity, but what I mean by that is a business. But since that word came up, just keep that in mind. But it's like giving your resources and thoughts and ideas to an entity or a business instead of claiming them as your own. So it's like never fully being able to be acknowledged, because whatever it is that you're giving away, the ownership is somewhere else because you are part of that thing. And that is the end of that. So moving forward into what to release, and all of this applies. It's that holding things in, not speaking. And it's the end of that. It's releasing not being able to speak your truth. And the trajectory and outcome has to do with aligning with the light codes of the eclipse, of the season, of Leo, the four suns, the central galactic sun, the star that we see as our sun, the soul light chakra, the star that is you, and the center of the earth sun, aligning, standing in that pillar of light, receiving, calling on those Lyran light codes to come through that pillar, resetting, recharging, realigning with your own true self, your own true wisdom. Then we have Judgment and Page of Pentacles and excitement. I absolutely love that. This is a starting fresh, starting new, clean slate, releasing the past, moving forward into the future. And this new future, whatever it is that you're leaving, there is this soul lesson of recognizing your resources. And then here, the Page of Pentacles comes with the resource. It's like, I feel like when all is lost and the glimmer out of the corner of your eye appears, but this isn't like all is lost. This is something that you're doing on purpose. So this isn't necessarily happening to you, it's happening for you. The universe is conspiring with you and for you at all times. But this is also, I can understand a feeling of being bummed. Like, I really thought this is what it was, but I know something that I can't unknow. And I know that I can't do this anymore the way it's been going on. I have to cut my losses and move forward. And as long as you are breathing and in a body, you are processing, you are evolving. There's still stuff left to do. You haven't lost anything. As a matter of fact, you've gained something. And with the gnosis that you have, this is empowering. This is a really powerful reading for this time, for this eclipse. Thank you for being here with me, Irma Starseeds, and I will see you next time.